Imagine this, you get on a plane, you fly across the world, you land, but when you hand over your passport, the officer tells you that your country does not exist. Not that it was conquered, not that the name changed, it simply never existed. This is the story of the man from Taured, July 1954, Haneda Airport, Tokyo. It was a hot, humid summer day. Passengers from Europe were lining up at customs. Among them was a well-dressed man, middle-aged, Caucasian, beard neatly trimmed. He spoke fluent French, but also Japanese and several other languages. He looked like a typical business. The customs officer frowned. The passport looked authentic. It had stamps from previous trips to Tokyo, but the issuing country on the cover read, Taured. The officer had never heard of it. No one had. They took the man to an interrogation room. Where is Taured? They asked. The man was annoyed. He pointed to a map of Europe. He pointed to the small area between Spain and France. The place we know as Andorra. There, he said, Taured has been there for 1,000 years. But looking closely at the map, he went pale. The name Taured was missing. Instead, it said, Andorra. He became angry. He insisted that maps were wrong. He insisted his country was real. He showed them his driver's license, issued in Taured, his bank checkbook, issued by a bank in Taured, documents that looked 100% real, from a place that wasn't. The airport officials were baffled. They couldn't arrest him. He hadn't committed a crime, but they couldn't let him go. He had no valid citizenship. So, they made a decision. They booked him a room at a nearby hotel, top floor, to be safe. They placed 2 immigration officers outside his door. No one could enter, no one could leave. The room had no balcony. The only exit was the door guarded by police. The next morning, the officials returned to interview him again. The guards unlocked the door. They walked in, and they froze. The room was empty. The bed was slept in, but the man was gone. The window was still locked from the inside. They checked the bathroom, under the bed, nothing. But here is the part that chills the spine. Back at the airport, inside the security safe, his passport. Who was the man from Taured? Some say he was a simple con artist with fake documents. But how did he vanish from a sealed room guarded by police? Others believe a darker theory, that he was an accidental traveler, a man who slipped through a crack between dimensions. He came from a parallel Earth, an Earth almost identical to ours, except for one detail. In his world, Andorra is called Taured. And just as accidentally as he arrived, he slipped back, leaving us with a question that has no answer. If you woke up tomorrow, and the world said you didn't exist, how would you prove you were real? Think about it. This is Redacted Past. Subscribe for more glitches in reality.